Welcome back to the Christian View, where we're discussing different aspects of marriage. And this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about marriage on the rocks. And do you think in our society today that broken marriages through the media is being promoted? Broken marriages. Do we hear more about broken marriages than we do successful marriages?
I think we're living in a society that feeds on drama and feeds on trauma. You know, with all the reality shows, and you know, we love to see it. We love to see the breakup and who they're with now. And I mean, you think about a lot of the top reality shows that are out there now. That's the main thing, is who are they marrying now, and how much do they spend on the wedding, and you know, all of that. So I do think
and
that
how much the divorce cost them last go round.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, another thing back to the arranged marriage is that we see a lot of cohabitation in our culture today. A lot of people are like, you know, let's try it on for size and see if it works. If it doesn't, then, you know, I'm out of here. And so I think that contributes also. As a marriage pastor, I see that, you know, it contributes to divorce. Ultimately, the rate of divorce for those that cohabitate is very, very high. So
I think there is a segment though that's the happily ever after. I know that I am, and when
is that realistic anymore?
But
happily ever after.
You see some of these movie stars, and it says they've been married 30 years or whatever, and I'm like clapping because like they beat the odds. That they stayed in love. They stayed and so that's real. When we see that, we do applaud that, because I think deep within us we yearn for that happily ever. I think the women do. I can't speak for the men.
They're all searching for.
Right.
The happily ever after.
We all do. Because marriage is hard, but I'm sure divorce is much harder. And I'm just thankful that my husband and I have persevered. It has there have been hard times, but he's my soulmate. He's the person.
How many years, Ann?
It's be 28 years.
How many, Rebecca?
28 this year.
Whoa!
Congratulations.
Exactly. Thank you.
24.
15.
21. So we're all good here. We're all good.
We persevered.
Well, it is all about that. It is all about that. I definitely agree. But I do think our culture is promoting this unhealthy marriage, you know, picture among the television shows and the reality shows.
Hey, listen. We could be sitting here talking, all of us good marriages, 20 years, 25 years.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, if we hear Dawn's getting a divorce, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Not about all the years. We're going to talk about the divorce.
Right.
Right, exactly.
So that's just how society is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the media knows what they're wanting, so they're feeding it to them.
Jackie,
so does that encourage divorce?
I think it does. I think the more we eat out of a garbage can,
You're
you know,
right.
garbage in, garbage out. You know, you're watching that on the TV, you're seeing it in the culture, you're feeding that into your, you know, your spirit, your mind. That's what you're gonna, you know, behave. That's gonna be set your behavior within your home. So we have to be counterculture. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. What do y'all think about those new shows that are out? I think one's Satisfaction and one's called Married, and they're promoting open marriages.
Absolutely not.
And
I think about that 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
For us as Christians, there are some things that just aren't gray. For
No.
society, they may be gray. They are not gray. God doesn't call them gray.
I don't hear you referring to a gray area there. No, I don't either.
yeah, but some people are saying that's an alternative to divorce. And that is such a sad state of affairs, because I just believe that if we promote that, and that's what our children are growing up in, this cultural society where they're saying that's okay, because, you know, you can...
But you're right. They're growing up hearing that's okay.
And
that's not good.
In a lot of social settings, they absolutely are.
That's not good.
And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate,
society is more interested in what's wrong rather than what's right.
Right.
You know, that fascinates people.
It does.
You know, what's wrong, what didn't happen, you know, what went wrong, and people are so caught up into that, you know, rather than wanting to know what makes it right, what makes it successful, what makes it healthy, you know.
It's amazing they put terms like open marriage on there, because that makes it sound more palatable. It's not. And so if we put a nice name on it, then we're not really doing anything wrong. And
they think they're healing their marriage, and in all honesty, obviously, it's destroying it. There's so much pain that comes as a price for those kind of activities and behaviors, and it's sad. But we are called to love one another and love those. And these are people sitting in our pews, in our churches. These are people that are in our Sunday school classes.
Yes,
absolutely. And we're called to love. We all have a propensity to sin. We all are vulnerable to it. And so we don't need to judge those people who are dealing with those kind of situations because it's easy to get drawn into in this society today.
Yeah, and I think where we are, you know, with social media and just access to porn and those type things on the internet, on our cell phones, walking around, you know, that really puts, absolutely, and it puts people at risk.
That's the number one thing.
It is very divisive in a marriage. It destroys trust, and we see it destroying homes and marriages.
That is so sad, Rebecca.
Yeah, it is. It is. And so, you know, one of the things that we have to teach people is how to make a covenant with your eyes and not look at it. And, you know, like Job said, he said, I made a covenant with my eyes, with God, and I bounce my eyes. I look away. That's one of the things my husband has been trying to teach our boys. You know, you can walk down the halls of a mall or whatever, and you'll see them look away from the, you know, the different ads that are really seductive. And I'm thankful for that, you know, that he's taught them as a man of God. You know, bounce your eyes. You don't have to feast your eyes on everything that's out there.
You don't have to do that.
We have a command that says flee temptation, not run to it.
Yeah.
We've got to run away from it.
And we're surrounded in it now.
Absolutely.
Right. We're in a world today, we're surrounded.
Yeah.
And I think that would just make marriage more difficult for the long term.
It would.
As anything else out there is just what we're having to deal with that they didn't deal with 50 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I don't know about
I'm
that,
sorry, but we have to make marriage fun.
Yes.
We have to date our spouse.
And it should be.
You know?
It should be fun.
Let's go back to that time when we dated.
It's a great
thing. For me, it was one day, but still. Do you remember that first kiss? And, you know, I have to tell my husband, kiss me like we just started dating. You know.
And does he?
Yeah, he does.
Woo, we ain't forgot.
But you're right, it's an investment. I think we do have to reinvest on a daily basis, on fondness and admiration. There are certain key elements that we have to keep alive in our marriages. And when you talk about kissing, my husband and I have what we call our 6-second kiss. And it's important. And every day you should, you really should get your 6-second kiss in.
Wow,
6 seconds.
It makes a difference.
What do you count?
Good.
Honestly,
1,001, 1,002.
as structured as I am, I actually do. So.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Something about counting to 6 that would just.
But it makes you mindful. It makes you mindful of what you've got to do.
That. Wow. Well, it's some awesome things we're talking about marriage. I'm telling you, when you start talking about marriage, there's so many different sides and angles that you can come out, you know. And so we hope that, you know, you're getting something inspirational here today. And we're going to have to go take a break. But, hey, we're coming right back with more on marriage. Thank you.